Welcome to my channel Physics Made Easy. In the topic System of Particles and Rotational Motion, we are studying the motion of center of mass. In continuation of that, today we will study about the linear momentum. As you know, system of particles mean many particles are comprising the system. Then each particle may have different velocity. Its momentum will be given by first particle mv1, m1v1, second particle m2v2 and so on. So the total momentum we can write like this. What is this P? Momentum of the whole system. Momentum of all particles, its vector sum. Momentum is a vector quantity because mass into velocity. What can we write as per these equations we have read earlier? Rate of change of position, what is this? Velocity. So if you write what is velocity of center of mass, these all belong to center of mass. Then velocity of center of mass is given by this one m1 v1, this is velocity dr by dt, so plus m2 v2 you will write in this way, and upon m1 plus m2 up to nth particles. Here also, what is this? Summation of masses of n particles, that means the total mass of the system. If you bring here on this side, this will become mass of the system into center of mass, its velocity vcm, that will be equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2 and so on. If you compare this result with the momentum of system of particles, how much? This P. Then what can you write? This P can also be written as P of the center of P of the total system equal to mass of the system into velocity of center of mass. And what is this equal to? Vector sum of individual particles. All the particles, their velocity and momentum is given, the individual particles momentum, their vector sum. Okay. Now what second law says? Newton's second law. We have read that Newton's second law says that F equal to dp by dt, this is, and rate of change of momentum is force, it is vector everywhere. Okay. It is also mass of the object into acceleration. How will you apply this to the system of particles? We have read in the these expressions previously that if we talk about the acceleration of center of mass, then how acceleration of center of mass was explained? You know, dv by dt. And what was here? This m1 a1 plus m2 a2, this a is dv by dt, and upon this was m1 plus m2 plus so on. So in this way, what was the total m? Again mass of the system, and acceleration center of mass. Its acceleration of center of mass was equal to m1 a1 plus m2 a2 and so on. What is this? F1 plus F2 plus all the external forces. This is not a single force, I told earlier. So this external force total on first particle, second particle and so on. So what is this? F net external. If you compare this with this result, what will you get here? That the Newton's second law is extended for the system of nth particle like this. Compare this relation with this. What can you write? That second law of Newton is also applicable to the system of n particles. Then how will you write here? This dp by dt is equal to F external. So as usual we have read earlier in the Newton's laws, you know, if external force is not applied on a system or on a body, If you are explaining the system of particles, then you say on the system. If you are here in the system of particles is the topic, then you have to say each and everything which you have read about the single whole body is applied to the system of particles. Now, if F external is 0, net force on a system is 0. Think, what does it mean? This is the system. If the net force on it is 0, does it mean that individual particle will not experience any force? Individual particle here, this is the net force of F external 0, and this is the vector sum of all the forces on the particles. What do you say, that this F1, F2, F3 will be 0? No. F1, F2 may be equal and opposite. Both may have some value opposite direction, so that their resultant is 0. So, what I mean to say, when you are talking about the system, then individual particles, their external forces may have their external forces due to external forces. There may be acceleration of individual particles, but if F external is 0, then what is 0? F external, what is F equal to? ma, mass of the system, and acceleration of center of mass. Mass cannot be 0, then what will be 0? Acceleration of center of mass. So, if you explain the conservation of momentum, this is the momentum vector sum P equal to P1 P2 plus P2 plus P3, but if you explain the conservation of momentum, then what will you say? That if F external on a system is 0, then it means mass of a system into A of center of mass will be 0. That means A center of mass will be 0. And A center of mass will be 0 means what is A? You know, A is 0 means velocity is constant. You know, A is rate of change of velocity. That means velocity of center of mass is constant. Okay. Again, you can say that if velocity of center of mass is constant, then if initially system is at rest, that is, if V center of mass is 0, then what will happen? Momentum initial will be momentum final. Can you say why? F is, we have read, rate of change of velocity. So, if dp by dt is rate of change of force, rate of change of momentum is force. If F external is 0, then dp by dt is 0 means whose differentiation is 0? Momentum. Then momentum will be constant. If F external dp by dt is 0, that means momentum is constant. Now, if VCM is 0, then P initial equal to P final equal to 0. And if momentum is constant, for this F external to be 0, momentum is constant, then if initially VCM has some value, then finally that value of center of mass will be there, then it will not change, VCM will remain constant. So, what is this? Newton's first law. How the Newton's laws are applicable on the system of particles? Look here, whatever is the initial velocity, same will be final velocity if there is no acceleration. If initial velocity is 0, then final velocity be 0, therefore initial momentum is 0, then final momentum will be 0. And what about here? If initial velocity of center of mass is constant, then final velocity will remain constant. Why? Because momentum will be constant. Look how this constant conservation of momentum is applied to the examples. So many examples given for the conservation of momentum. For example, a radioactive decay. If there is a particle nucleus of radon, if it decays after certain time, radioactive nucleus is radon, it decays into two fragments. One is helium and other is radon. This is the particle of radium, not radon, and this is radon, this is helium. Okay, so what I mean to say, that in the radioactive decay of this nucleus, we find that center of mass continues in the same straight path as a free particle. This decay, when decay takes place, then the fragments move in such a way that their vector sum is same as the direction of motion of the decaying nucleus. Before decay, whatever was the direction of motion, same remains the motion of center of mass. Fragments move in such a way that the resultant vector is the vector of center of mass. This is called conservation of momentum. What can you say if you observe with the frame of reference of center of mass? What will you find? That whenever the radium nucleus is at rest, then one particle moves, which is helium, with the greater velocity because its mass is less in this direction upward. Then the other, radon, this is the nucleus of radium, this is radon, it will move, since its mass is more, then with the lesser velocity opposite to that. It means this momentum is same as this momentum. Momentum is vector quantity, net momentum 0. Before explosion, the momentum was 0. Finally, after explosion, momentum is 0. So in this way, conservation of momentum can be explained. In this uniform motion of radium, where you can see that if the from the frame of reference of center of mass at rest, the fragments moving opposite direction. Similar is the case of binary star. What is binary star? Two stars bound to each other by gravitational forces, and they orbiting around their common center are called binary stars. How can you say, how will you represent the motion of binary stars? Look, if again you consider the frame of reference of center of mass, then if this is the center of mass, then both the stars, suppose this is S1, then this will be diametrically opposite. They move always in the diametrically opposite way. Both are S1 here, then S2 in this direction. So both stars always move in the diametrically opposite position. They remain diametrically opposite position in this way. What is the individual stars motion? If you say, if this is the motion of first one, then how will you explain this one? This one will be the motion of the second one. So this motion, if you consider the center of mass, the center of mass continues to be this is the center of mass in a same straight line like a free particle. So free path, at the free path center of mass is moving, although you can say that this is the first star and here at somewhere this is the motion of second star. So the trajectories of individual stars, they form this complicated path, but center of mass, if we consider, why do we study center of mass? So that the motion of center of mass, by considering that motion in the system, it becomes easier to study about the whole system, its velocity, its momentum, force acting on it, if you consider the center of mass. Now I will explain some conceptual questions and numericals. Look in this question. Till now we have read whatever about center of mass. All the parts are again revised, and look, check your concept. In a system of particles at rest, no external force acts. Select the true and false. First part, F1, F2, F3 is 0. What we have read, that in the system so many particles are interacting with each other. Okay, if F external is 0, does it mean that force on each and every particle is 0? Will be. Why? How will you select F1, F2, F3 individual particles force? Will it be 0? How will you select? What you have read, that F external is F1 plus F2 plus F3, the sum, vector sum is F external. Vector sum means that F1, F2, F3 up to Fn may have any value, their resultant will be 0. Individual particles may have forces. All the forces which are acting individually on the particle, their resultant will be 0. Individually the particles may have force. So what is this? This is wrong. Similarly, V1, V2, V3. What we have read here, that V is given by V center of mass is what? M1 V1 plus M2 V2 upon M1 plus M2 we have written. Then individual particle will have the velocity in any direction and their vector sum is 0. So this is also V1, V2, V3 will be 0, not correct. Similarly, the accelerations, just now we have seen, if the particles experience, individual particle experiences force, then acceleration also, so not 0. What about momentum? Momentum again depends on velocity, so this will be also not true. What about center of mass? This V center of mass is 0 if the system is, look, this is the important line. What is given? At rest. At rest, just before this question we have discussed that if the system is at rest, then whatever is the center of mass, it is 0, then finally initial momentum will be 0, then final momentum will be 0, initial velocity of center of mass will be 0, then final velocity of center of mass will be 0. What is here? We can write VCM equal to 0. This will be true. Look, you can also say that if V1, V2, V3, they are not 0 and the system is at rest, their resultant may be 0. So it is, yes, it may be true. Velocity is a vector quantity, so this may be true. What about systems acceleration? We have read that F external is 0, then mass of the system into acceleration of center of mass is equal to F external. If F external is 0, what does it mean? System acceleration, center of mass will be 0 as mass is not 0. So this will be also true. Yes, what about kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is written as how? K equal to half mv square. Kinetic energy is scalar quantity. If this is kinetic energy, this is velocity, all the individual particles have velocity, then vector sum will never be 0, because vector sum means negative, positive are considered, but kinetic energy is never negative. Kinetic energy, V is negative, then V square is positive. So, kinetic energy will be 0. This is not true. It will be never be 0. What about kinetic energy total? What will you guess? That kinetic energy total will be 0 or not? Will be true or false? Never. Kinetic energy, again kinetic energy, total kinetic energy, since it is scalar quantity, and kinetic energy is never 0. You may think that no external force, but kinetic energy is total kinetic energy is not 0. Kinetic energy has some value. From where it comes? Force is not acting. Then how kinetic energy is not 0? It is kinetic energy is 0. This is not true. How can you say? Look, if there is a positive charge, it is placed near another positive charge. This is Q1, this is Q2. Look, they will repel each other or not? No external force is acting. This force of repulsion is the electrical force of repulsion only. Then their velocity in moving away increasing. They are repelled by each other, so they are experiencing forces. Then they are having accelerations. So acceleration 0, velocity 0. You can also confirm from this example. What about this kinetic energy? From where no external force is acting, then how can you say that total kinetic energy is 0? No, because velocity is increasing is in this direction, because this charge is repelled by this, so it is moving with increasing velocity in this direction, and this is moving with increasing velocity on forward direction. So kinetic energy is increasing at the expense of potential energy, electrostatic potential energy, and because of electrostatic potential energy, kinetic energy is 0. That is wrong. Kinetic energy is not 0. So we have seen conservation of momentum says that if on a system external force, net external force is 0, then the total momentum of system remains constant. Whether you can prove in terms of system of particles, as you have read, you have proved in terms of a single body in previous chapters. Now, position of center of mass is given by this m1 r1 plus m2 r2 upon m1 plus m2. Suppose two particle object, two particle system. If system is at rest, we have seen that change in position will not occur as system is at rest. So what you will write? dr by dt. Then this will become m1 dr1 by dt plus this upon m1 plus m2 0. What does it mean? That m1 dr1 plus m2 dr2 equal to 0. This is very important equation to be used in numericals, we will see. And this dr by dt is velocity of center of mass. So you can write here this velocity as in terms of this dr1 by dt and dr2 by dt as v1 v2. So this is also. What about velocity of center of mass? If it is given the system is at rest, then velocity of center of mass, this is 0, initially 0, so finally 0. If initially it has some value, it is constant, it will remain constant finally also, when no external force acts on the system. What about momentum of a system? You can say that momentum of a system is given by mass of the system into velocity of center of mass. Yes, it is true. You cannot say that kinetic energy of the system is equal to half m mass of the system into velocity of system square, center of mass square, because You have seen that if two positive charges are repelled by each other, then they will have kinetic energy individually and the velocity opposite direction. So VCM will be 0. You may think that if VCM 0, even then kinetic energy will exist. This is possible. You are looking, both are moving, but velocity is in opposite direction. Why? Velocity is vector. What about kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is scalar. So V center of mass will be 0. You can say that V center of mass here, then kinetic energy will be 0. No. Okay. So this is not correct. This is correct. Now come to the numericals. Look, I have selected few numericals. First one, if the particle of 2 kg is moving with the velocity v and another mass of m moving in this direction with the velocity 2v, find the mass if the system is at rest. Find this value. Again, if the system is at rest, what I told, this will be the equation. Will it be or not? How? I have written. Apply here this, then what will you write? For this value, this m1 into dr1. What is dr1? If you write in terms of this velocity of center of mass, then VCM will be 0. So m1 v1 plus m2 v2 will be 0. You can also say if no external force acts, system is at rest, then total momentum remains conserved. Look here, this is m1 and m1 is 2 kg with the velocity v. I am writing directly, this is v plus this is m. I am writing here this 2 kg into v plus m into opposite direction of velocity. What is this? Minus 2v. This will be equal to 0 from this expression. What will you get? Simple. This 2v equal to 2mv. So 2v and 2v will be cancelled. This implies that m is equal to 1 kg. Learn the concept, then you will get proper answer. Now in the second question, there is a trolley. If 30 kg person starts moving at the trolley suddenly with the speed of 2 meters per second. He is standing at the one end of the trolley. Mass of trolley is 10 kg. Then from rest person P starts walking with the speed 2 meters per second with respect to trolley. Find recoil velocity of the trolley. You know, if the person walks in this direction forward, then recoil will be backward. How the momentum will be balanced? Again it is given from rest. Then how to solve? Look, in the rest position, it starts moving with the walking with the velocity 2 meters per second. With respect to trolley, this is very important. You know, how will you solve this question? Look, that the velocity of person with respect to ground, it is not given. This 2 meters per second is with respect to trolley. Then how will you write? This can be written as velocity of person. If it is given velocity, you have to find velocity of person with respect to ground. And if it is given velocity of person with respect to trolley, how much it is given? It is given 2. This you write, velocity of person with respect to trolley will be equal to with respect to ground minus velocity of trolley with respect to ground. What is given? This 2 meters per second. You write here 2 equal to velocity of person with respect to ground. You have to find velocity of trolley with respect to ground. It is given here. Suppose that velocity of recoil with respect to ground, you suppose u, then what will you put here? That is u, and then you find the direction of velocity. This is positive, then this u will be in the negative direction. So what will you write here? This is minus u. So velocity of person with respect to ground will be 2 minus u. Now simply initial momentum will be same as final momentum and equal to 0 because system is at rest. Look here, this 30 kg person with what velocity? Look here, this velocity is velocity of person with respect to ground we are saying to consider, then this is 2 minus u. You put the value and find the answer. Can you put? Look here, this is 30, you write here this 2 minus u plus trolley, this is 10 into recoil velocity in the minus direction, minus u equal to 0. So you can solve. This is 60 equal to, this will be 30 and 10, this is 40 u. This implies that u will be equal to 3/2 meter per second. So this is the velocity of recoil in which direction? Opposite to the direction in which the person walks. From a disc, I am coming on another question, this one. From a disc of radius r, a portion of radius r/2 is cut off. Find the center of mass of remaining flat body. It looks so simple. How to solve this question? I hope you have noted these questions. Okay, now look, a disc is given and radius of disc is r. Suppose this is the disc of radius r. Geometrical center will be the center of mass. Suppose this is O. What happens? r/2 portion is cut off. If this is r, then this will be r/2, and the circle of r/2 radius is cut off from the disc. Okay, so obviously it will be like this. If you assume this is the center O here, so this is the mass cut off, suppose M1, and its center of mass at O1. Now the remaining flat portion is this one. Suppose its mass is M2 and M1 has its center of mass as O1, and what about M2? Suppose it is here at O2. So what can you say? In the beginning, center of mass of the whole disc is at its center O. Now when the M1 portion is cut off of radius r/2, then M1 and M2 are supposed to be concentrated at O1 and O2 with respect to O. Simply again, mdr1 plus mdr2 equal to 0. Apply this concept here. What will be here? If you know the sigma is given by mass upon area, this is surface charge density. So you find here using this formula for M1. So M1 will be sigma pi r square by 4, r/2 whole square. This will be the M1. What will be M2? M2 will be pi r square minus pi r square upon 4 sigma. What is M2? The total pi r square sigma minus the cut portion, that is pi r square by 4 sigma. So what is left here? 3 pi r square by 4 sigma. Okay, use this expression. Then M1 into O1, look here, this is positive, plus M2 into O2, this one, equal to 0. What is M1? This is sigma pi r square 4 into O1. What is O1? r/2. This is positive, and plus M2, that is 3 pi r square by 4. O2 with negative sign, you will write, suppose this is minus x, it will be 0. So what will you get here? Look, this pi r square by 4, pi r square by 4, this sigma also, this will be cancelled, only you will get r/2 equal to, this will be 3 pi r square by 4, and this is x. So x will be r/6. What is this x? O2. What will be the center of mass position? At the distance of r by 6 from O in the left side. Look here. Next question. A man M mass climbing on top of a balloon M with the help of a rope of length L. Balloon mass is M. Initially the system is at rest. By what distance balloon shifts downwards when man reaches to balloon? How will you solve this question? Look here that the balloon is given of mass M and the rope is attached with the balloon like this. Suppose this is the balloon of mass M and this is the rope attached and this is the person of mass M. L is the length of rope. When the person will climb, the balloon will come down. There is, in this system, there is no external force. If no external force, that means F external 0. What I told, that whenever the external force of the system is 0, then total momentum remains conserved. And what about, you will say that the balloon will come down, downward direction, the balloon will come down as the man will climb. Actually, man will climb with the distance, not total length L. What will be? The distance covered by the man will be M into L minus X. That will be the momentum. How will you write? External force 0, momentum will remain constant. So, this will be the momentum constant, or you can say this M1 dr1 plus M2 dr2 equal to 0 again, since the system is at rest and there is no external force. What will you write? This M1 dr1 plus M2 dr2 equal to 0. You will apply this equation here. Then man will climb L, then balloon will come down and minus X. What about the balloon? It will come down with what? M into minus X. So, this will be the expression and equal to 0. You will use this expression equal to 0. What will you find here? That this ML minus X within bracket M plus M. This is equal to 0. So, what will be the X? You have to find with that what will be the distance displacement of the balloon in the downward direction. This X will be ML upon M plus M. Options are given, then you have to select the correct one. So, in this way this is solved. So, what I mean to say, in any of the question, if the condition you read, it is given system is at rest or no external force is acting, then as per condition you have to apply the relations. Suppose the shell is fired. A very interesting question. A shell is fired with the initial speed of 5√2 meter per second from the ground at the 45-degree angle, and its mass is suppose 3m. When it reaches at the maximum height, it is broken into two parts in the ratio 1:2, or you can say that one part of mass m falls freely, it is given in the question, and the other part moves with the velocity v in the horizontal direction. Find this velocity. Listen the question. Initially the shell is fired here. Initially the system is not at rest, but since no explosion, since no external force, what will you say? That initial momentum in the horizontal direction will be same as initial momentum in the horizontal direction at the highest final momentum at the highest point. Why horizontal, not the vertical? Because vertical direction there is no force, there is no force, there is force 0, no. What can you say? The force is in the vertical direction. Shell is fired in this direction with the velocity 5√2 per second. If you take the component in horizontal and vertical, so vertical direction has force, but in the horizontal direction there is no force because velocity remains constant in the parabolic motion. So what will be this velocity? This is 5√2, this will be 5√2 cos 45, that will be 5√2 because cos 45 is 1/√2. What is initial momentum since horizontal direction we are considering? Then this will be 3 into, this will be √2 cancel, 5. Okay. What at here at the maximum height? This part will have mass 2m and its velocity v in the horizontal direction. This doesn't have any velocity in the horizontal direction, it is falling freely. So it's no component in the horizontal direction. So only 2m have the velocity v. So you will write here this initially in the x direction, and finally you will write the final momentum in the x direction, that will be 2m into v. And what is here? This is 3m into 5. Is it or not? This is 3m. What will you find? You can find here, therefore 2mv equal to 3m5, which implies that v equal to 15/2 meter per second. Again I am saying that we are considering the momentum in the horizontal direction only, because what conservation of momentum says, momentum remains conserved only when no external force acts. In what direction? External force is not acting? Horizontal. That's why we considered the momentum in the horizontal direction. How can you say? Because momentum remains, the velocity is constant here. So if you find that at this point the velocity will be v, then 2m is the mass by the conservation of momentum. This is 15/2 meter per second. I hope you must have enjoyed the conservation of momentum questions. Thank you.